This is the Cult Faction Podcast 113, Buzz, Blood, and Armageddons.
Superman.
Episode 113, Buzz, Blood, and Armageddons. I am your host tonight, Paul Hawkins, and as ever, I am joined by
Brett Summers
and
Damien Hicks.
Ooh,
Don't know what happened
a
there.
mysterious David Hicks.
I was thinking about, my microphone's a bit wobbly, and I was still thinking about that, and I genuinely momentarily forgot my surname.
Wow.
I thought
Yes.
it was hitting us with a dramatic pause.
Yeah. I've changed my name this week.
Yeah,
So-
don't you go dead naming me now.
But that's right. So, as we did a couple of weeks ago, we're leaving the spotlight on. We're doing those in alternative weeks, and
We're not leaving it off then. It's not switched off until it turns back on next week.
You just confused me now.
Sorry.
That's
Is
all right.
it not solar powered?
Nothing. No, because they
Not in
always
this country.
they always break, don't they? Yeah. So on these weeks, we just have a general waffle. Well, actually, the brief was
General waffle.
that whoever hosts the week can come up with some wacky or great idea that can just go off piste. But because I've been
Like patch up.
well, not that off piste. But because I've been so busy at week, I forgot about that and just have the normal waffle, some more in-depth focus on the news,
More pieced rather than off pieced.
and the bit that we should probably
That was the old days.
rename to the bit of the podcast that Damien doesn't like, the drop zone.
Yay.
Drop zone.
Likes the theme tune. Okay, so before we get into any of that, we've got the normal waffle with what if and only if we've been up to something interesting and exciting, what we've been watching, and anything else. So
Yeah,
Brett,
Brett. Only if it's interesting or exciting.
I thought I was going to have to look through the square window. I wasn't sure how he was teeing it up.
Jemima being in a minute.
oh, I used to hate Jemima.
Yeah, boy, little wench.
Yeah,
Which one was Jemima?
the doll,
Yeah.
Which doll?
the
The one
soft
with the
doll.
scraggly hair and the green dress.
No, I still can't remember. Which doll?
The soft doll,
Let's just move on.
long legs.
But you like Ted.
Yeah, everyone liked Ted.
Don't remember Ted. What was
What?
the Humpty? Oh no! Well, I was about to say what was the Humpty Dumpty thing called? It was called Humpty.
Ted was the teddy bear.
Yes, got you now. I'm with you. It's all coming back to me now.
Oh, coming back to
Celine Dion would say.
him
With Jeremy Irons dancing in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, how he's risen from the depths. Right, Brett, anything interesting this week or not?
Yes.
Cool, what?
I'm not going to tell you.
Well, I've just got the gig hosting the reboot of Play School with Jeremy Irons. What's been happening this week? School's back in, sucker.
Great.
As MC Ham would say, we're
Lucky
doing
you.
that. I've got my tattoo finished. So
Sorry, what?
The lizard
And he's not
gin-
been here a full hour, if not longer, and he's not gone. Oh, look at my tattoo.
What? What tattoo?
Show it. Put up. Go and.
It's covered now because it's.
Oh,
I'll take it
okay.
off tomorrow, so I can't now.
Fair enough.
But the lizard.
What? That's not very rock and roll, is it? Well, the man told me I couldn't take off my patch because you know.
I've got to put my. He's got his nappy cream on
Yeah,
there.
No,
and
I'll just put a new one on before I come out because it's cling film and it's really hot.
yeah.
So after a while you can smell it.
Is this your first tattoo?
No.
I don't remember him with tattoos. It's not like I ever see him. He wears jeans and a shirt all the time.
I sit
It's not-
opposite you every day.
Well, there's no tattoo on your face, is there?
No, normally his sleeves are shorter than that.
You're not an art teacher. You're probably not allowed one.
Yeah. No, visible tattoos are allowed in our school now. As long as they're not like of offensive imagery or nudity.
So what's the tat
or political? Jim Morrison. He was the least.
I'm sure we maybe not have had this conversation on air.
I know.
We definitely had this conversation.
But
I know. I got a feeling it was the week where we had the other host.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Jemima.
Jemima and Ted. One of the toys chipped in.
I've got to ask though, have you seen it?
What?
Well, he didn't just finish and slap out someone else and said, "Don't take it off for a day."
It's not like one of your dates.
No, does it actually look
finished on you, did he?
Does it actually look like Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done it beforehand. I do my research, sir.
No, I meant the tattoo. I mean, Jesus.
No, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have gone and just got like, and it's like a stick insect with like a afro.
Dave from round the corner. Here, Dave.
I know.
I bought this tattoo needle on eBay.
You do see online, similar things where fans get tats and they look nothing like the movie.
Oh yeah, no. I did
musician.
all that beforehand. Don't you worry. So if anyone is interested in that, if you go to
Google
Instagram.com Craig Anthony Tattoos, you'll be able to have a look at his work and all the other things he's done and the great deals he has on offer.
Wow. Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, and we'll probably be able to see next week.
Yeah, next week.
There you go. That's something to tune in for, isn't it?
On the YouTube.
The YouTube
Brett's going to
viewers.
get his guns out.
Oh, don't say that. He's going to be doing the weights now, just
That's
to prepare.
it. Well, that's next week's episode's title, isn't it? The gun show.
His right arm's going to be like Popeye's got the big
Yeah, it's
top of
Popeye.
his
Yeah.
arm.
What I'm worried about though is like cling film around this all week, weekend.
Oh,
or
he's
whatever.
making
Gonna lose
excuses
So,
now.
no, I'm just waiting to look up and I've got like one big arm and
Yeah.
one little arm and it just looks like Quagmire when they
When he discovers the internet.
Cool. Anything else, or just getting them tat?
There was something else, but I've forgotten what it is now.
Saw the picture of the new cat toy. The
Oh
exercise
yes.
thing.
Oh no, there are two things.
Jesus Christ, what were you thinking? It's huge.
I wanted them to be healthy and it, so they said.
So just to explain to the listeners
Actually, well,
and the viewers,
For the viewer, do I have permission to put that picture in the YouTube channel?
Yeah, there's no one in it or anything.
I don't think so.
No.
There is
yeah,
like
no,
a blur
good.
about.
Yeah, that's right.
check the reflections and mirrors.
Yeah,
and
I will do all the appropriate checks beforehand.
The cats are indoor cats. And
Yes, I
you
get
have to keep them like fit and healthy and all that stuff. And
Have you ever met a cat?
Even when they go outside, they don't really run.
they just sleep and
yeah,
they have
No,
the
no,
ability
no,
to
no,
jump really
no,
high.
they're very active little kitties indoors.
Uh-huh.
So they said, "Oh, you should get it a wheel." So I had a look, and they said because of their backs, you want one. Look at the size they're going to grow to. 'Cause
Yeah.
otherwise, after so long, they'll be too big for it and it hurts their spines. So I thought, well, let's just go for the bigger one.
So you want the size for a lion,
So you
or at
basically
least a mountain cat.
I mean, it does look like a cool running wheel.
It looks like a Stargate.
Yeah.
Huge. I know. I built it by hand. I had to do all the bits, all the things in. It took me about 5 hours, and as I did it, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
You should have got two, then they can race.
And do you know what they did? Well, I was thinking that. And I was trying to work out if I could run the house off it. And then, and it's great because they lay on it and really like it.
Well, do they walk on it though?
No, they've had a little walk, but when it gets to the upside downy bit, they
fall
realise
off.
they just run. They just kind of but they're
They're
going
like,
to Sonic the
fuck
Hedgehog.
this, I'm not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
No, but it's more. I think they're going to end up Sonicking it, where they just run it right round and run off like a wheel of death. Because they're more interested in, I think, trying to do that than they are maintaining a steady pace. Because somehow, I think
they're cats and they don't know.
No, I
any
think they're
better.
just on crack, and I don't know where they get it from, or whatever the equivalent of crack is to cat.
Catnip.
No, we haven't got any of that. We made sure. But yeah, that was good.
No, catnip's okay for cats.
Yeah.
That was a good. Yeah, but they're hyper enough.
No, but it mellows them out.
Yeah, they want to just rub their face all over it and stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't freak them out. It's
It's
the opposite.
legal and everything.
Are they winding me up, viewers?
No.
No.
Are they having a laugh?
These are two people that have a long line of cats in their life.
That
And
sounds wrong.
No, but see, I used the word. I was very choice with my words, thank you.
Cool.
And the other thing was on Sunday, after I got my tattoo, Kate picked me up and she said, "Oh, I've just got to pop in the shop on the way back."
Yeah, I heard about this as well. This is
So I
classic.
was like, "This okay, that's cool." And she said, "You can wait in the car because obviously you've got a sore arm and you're probably a little bit faint from like 5 hours of getting hair drawn on."
He looked after
He
us.
So I was
milks
like,
that,
okay.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, dear." And no, I was brave. I was a brave little soldier. And she made sure the window was wound down a bit so it didn't get too hot. And no, I don't know. And then she went in the shop, but as she went in, for some reason, she pushed the lock button on the car. So I'm in the car with it locked, and then I bent down to get my phone, and the alarm went off. And it was going, when everyone's looking, and I'm just sat in the passenger seat. I can't get out because the door's locked, and there isn't a thing where you can flip it.
Well, they would have been on the driver's side, I'd imagine. But
Well, no, because the buttons lock in.
So you
The
can't pull
buttons
them
that
out.
pop
is what
out. You
mean.
can't pull it out, or there isn't one on a handle.
no,
Anyway,
there will be a button to press on the driver's side for safety. There has to be.
but that would involve him reaching
Well,
over.
I'm trying to find it, to be
And
fair.
also, that'd be my bad arm suck. I just about to move it now. So I'm just sat there like that. Then it stopped. So I'm guessing she must have clicked it in the thing again. And then it went off again. So by the time she came out, I'm just sat there with people looking at me in the car with the alarm going off. Kind of like, the only thing I wasn't doing was licking the windows. You know what I mean? It was just sort of like, yeah, it was, yeah. So I've met a lot of the locals now. And they all run away from me now because I'm like the car man or something. But everyone else seemed to find it hilarious. Kate was cracked up and dropped half the shopping laughing at me. But yeah, everyone had a good time apparently. I brought some cheer to
I
the
know, I
community.
can just imagine it. I just wish I'd been there to see it.
I've just realised that Brett's life this week has pretty much been the title of the podcast. Buzz, Blood and Armageddon.
Yeah,
There you go. That was the Confession Podcast, episode whatever.
See you next week.
Are you Eamon Andrews?
So Damien,
And the
can
rest-
you compete with
No,
that?
I can't. I
the
can't
rest
stop
of the
that
week,
at all.
the rest of the week I've been in therapy.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Not really. I've been to Peppa Pig World
Again?
again
Wow.
on the hottest day of the year.
Oh, that must be nice.
Are you stalking her?
Wow.
Did you get an interview yet?
To get any pork.
No. Let's just sell pork scratch. Let's just do
Yeah.
Peppa Pig pork scratchings, shouldn't
Yeah.
they? I'd enjoy eating those because I hate that.
They just sell it as a puzzle. Build your own Peppa Pig. It's like Build a Bear, but with
Pork
offal and
scratchings. Yeah.
hat and bacon. And
No, so that's been my excitement. Well, I mean, it's Poland's. It wasn't just Peppa Pig World.
Yeah.
To be fair, I went around on the bigger rides, but it's just so hot.
because you're so hard.
No, 'cause-
You're bragging.
Watch me, Emily. Watch me.
I went on the bigger ride.
Yeah, I did.
Daddy's riding the big roller coaster.
You
Oh,
threw up on the
come on.
teacups once.
No, we didn't.
Fort Park,
What?
1990 something.
Don't ask me to remember that far back.
I don't
Jeez.
even remember going to Thorpe Park.
Or it might have been
Yeah, nice.
Chessington actually.
No,
Yeah,
we-
it was Chessington. Because that's what we were laughing at. Because you went on, then you come off and you're sick. You're like, I've just done the whatever it was then, and then you because the teacups made you dizzy.
The teacups.
Yeah, because
Sure.
that one because they went round.
Are you sure this was me?
Yeah, that's why it was funny.
Yeah.
If I'd done it, like I was just sick. Because you were going mad on that spinny bit in the middle,
was
and you were making it straight around, and then you
I
came
was
up and just
Top,
threw
I
up.
had too much Haribo.
I don't think it was Haribo.
I don't remember this at all, but fair dues. I'll take your word for it because your memory is much
kind
better
of
than mine.
rings a bell for some reason, but I don't even know if I was there.
Yeah, because it was when Jenny came down there and Maid Marian that used to go with our other friend. I've forgotten her name now. From Maid Marian and Merry Men, she looked like her.
Okay.
We might be getting slightly off piste and
Yeah.
slightly niche. Right, anyway,
Yeah, we'll cut that out because we're the same person now, so
Yeah,
we'll beat
so-
that.
Yeah,
But that was when
it's not easy to cut shit out of. It.
But that was the. I was trying to give you the time period.
It doesn't
Okay,
matter.
it doesn't matter.
You demanded evidence.
I didn't.
Wow.
Gosh.
And to be fair, just saying names and talking shit isn't evidence. It's just more talking.
It's fine.
Anyway, I went to Polton's Park.
Cool. So you
It was on the hottest day of the year. I didn't meet Peppa Pig because there was no way I was going to let Emily queue again for that nonsense when she only went there like.
You've seen her once, Emily.
Yeah,
That'll
exactly.
Were there other
Yeah.
people to meet? Were there other characters or?
No, it doesn't matter.
And there was the owl there or whatever, hadn't they?
There's a statue of the owl, I think, in some sort of sombre kind of reverence of what Polton's used to be. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Do they put like a cashier in it on Halloween and burn it?
I think they should put a little black armband around its wing or something
Yeah.
to, you know,
No, I
when
just
when
wondered,
used
that
to be.
was
So
I
much
don't know
to do
what
and
the-
see for all the family being inside the museum. See them, Kids Kingdom and Captain Blood's cabin. It's a hoot hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway,
Cool. So
We're plugging everything in.
yeah, we're plugging 80s Polton's Park. That's what we're doing now.
so you were at Peppa Pig World, and I cooked
You
Peppa
cooked
Pig.
Peppa Pig. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Did you?
I saw you put a picture of it on.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Did you use the spinny
Was it?
thing?
That's the trial run. It was my dad's birthday
Oh,
on
right,
Saturday,
yeah.
so I
You're
didn't
right.
even
Oh, yeah, because
bigger.
last week we had that whole rotisserie conversation,
Yeah.
which I denied about trying whether I could edit it out or not, and I couldn't. So.
Well, I won't talk
Apparently
about
it
it.
was hilarious.
Was it?
Yeah, but that was basically it and work. But nothing exciting. Can't compete with Brett.
No.
Cool, so what have you been
That's
watching,
why my
Summers?
Bolton story was so flat.
Just
You know, I was thinking this afternoon, oh, I've got
Just
something to
reminded me-
report. I've been to Bolton's,
a
but
few
no.
people that weren't listening to that thought that bit was really funny. All the bits that we planned.
Yeah.
But the bit about that bit was hilarious. Oh, we laughed at that. I'm like, yeah, well, that was just something we did on the spot. It wasn't.
Yeah,
But,
not like the rest of the episode. Cool, anyway, what have you been watching, Summers?
Okay. Some of the usual stuff. I was moaning last week that Ahsoka was kind of. It was all right, but it was like that bit before something happens, kind of thing, if you remember.
Yeah.
And this week's episode, that thing happened, and it was really good. And I won't say it because it is a massive spoiler. If you
Is it
haven't
good,
seen
though?
Yes,
Right.
it is good. Yeah, no, it's always good. It was just, but it is a film. You're watching scene by scene by scene.
Right.
That,
Just
you
a
know,
very, very long film that you can't watch all in one.
Yeah, basically.
Cool.
When it's finished, they should just cut it all together and just release it. But they may or may not do that. I don't know. But yeah, really good. I'm really enjoying that. I'm also still really, really enjoying Shelter. Harlan.
How many episodes of that are there then? Or have you,
It's
you
still
only done
going.
one
It's
and
one a
off?
week.
Three.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's
But
not
we
all
got
dropped.
lots of stuff this week that was revealed or kind of we've moved on a bit. You know that when there's those episodes like now we know that it's
Just a bit of a
changed a
filler,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, now that we've moved that, we can move on in that. But that led to other things and stuff. But yeah, that show's getting better and better.
Cool.
If you haven't seen it yet, you need to check it out.
I'm going to wait. I didn't realise it was a one a week, so I'm definitely now going to wait until.
Yeah. But it
drops.
is. But I think there's about 6 or 7 now. I think there's only 8, I believe.
Oh, I might not catch
So-
it up then.
Yeah, so you might be alright. But double check that. I think it's 8. Shelter, Ahsoka.
I can come back.
I have. Oh yeah, I've got 2 more things. It's up to you. You can spin around.
Damien.
So I finished manifesting.
And?
I'm not entirely sure it was worth it.
No,
I
I
was
didn't
going
think
to say,
it would
was
be.
it worth it?
I think
Did you get an ending?
there is an end. Yeah, there's 100% an ending, but I think because they had pretty much revealed everything that was going on before the end, you're kind of expecting there to be something else. If you see what I mean. So
Yeah.
all the mythology, you know, I was saying last week,
Yeah,
where they pulled it all
Yeah.
in. So they did. They pulled all that back together.
So did they Orville it? Where it was like 1 episode too many. Remember like the Orville where like they kind of had that huge
No,
ending.
it's
and
it's
then they
almost
did
you
it
can
around.
almost say it's half a season too many.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so everything that they, because they'd all been trying to figure out what was going on, so all little bits. So you know, I'd even say by season 3 they'd put all the pieces together. So I was expecting that to not be
Yeah,
all of it, or
because they
there
worked
was
it
a
out.
little
You'd
more.
think it was a slight of hand or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Or end on a twist.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Oh.
It ended exactly as you would expect it to end.
Does Hurley turn up?
No.
Oh.
No.
Cool. Okay, so I'll avoid that. What else?
I don't know if it's... Well, yeah, I would have.
No, I'm not going to watch
Yeah,
it.
no, that's fair enough. Gone back into Quantum Leap.
Where are you up to?
About another 3 episodes in from when it finished last time round.
You got to the Navy bit yet?
That's the last one we watched.
Right.
I have to admit, I didn't really watch the one in between. Well, I watched it,
The
but I just
basketball
didn't
one.
want to be preached to
Yeah.
that much. So I watched it for the bits where they weren't in playing basketball.
Yeah.
Because
I've only watched.
frankly, you don't need to, for want of a better term, shove that down my throat.
What are they shoving? I'm only up to the Doctor one still at the moment.
Okay.
Oh no, they moved on now.
What
Moved
are
on
they
now.
shoving?
They are shoving.
There's
Just so I
one,
know what to fast forward. if I need
there's
to.
one about a basketball player who's transgender. So he leaps into her dad, who's the basketball coach, and this is all about to try and get acceptance for
Oh yeah.
her playing on the team. And it starts off everyone being against her, apart from a few of the players, and then by the end of it, everyone's on her side, and everyone's okay.
And she can go and change in the women's changing rooms.
Yeah.
And what year did he leave into?
2012.
Old for 2012, I think.
Well, no,
Well, I
because
don't
it was
know.
only filmed last year.
Yeah, I know, but I mean the year he leaps.
Well, that's why it was such a big thing, but it's such a big thing now as well, so that's probably why they
Oh, okay.
covered
Like,
it.
I haven't got. As I say, how many up to that? I just wondered what it was.
Okay.
But are you enjoying it still?
Yeah, in the most part, I think there was a lot more depth to the to Sam's leaps than there were. Although to be fair, the Navy one was actually there was a bit more depth to that one.
Yeah.
So it is still more about the story arc than the leaps, whereas Sam's show was more about the heart and soul of the leap, and you forget about you. Well, there was no real outside of it type scenario. So that's still the main purpose for watching it is the what's going on with the other bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm not going to say because you haven't seen the next episode,
No.
so there's a little bit. There's something that happens in the Navy episode that
Mm-hmm.
furthers the
I'll have to try and get on that
storyline.
Cool. Anything else?
No, that is it.
So I too have been watching Quantum Leap and finished it.
Ooh,
Mm.
Yeah.
don't make me ring that bell.
You can ring that bell, yeah, because at the very end, no, all I will say is, yeah, there are still the episodes where it is the old-fashioned Quantum Leap, and there's one where he has to jumps into the body of a person working in a restaurant, and her mum's the head of the family. Looks like they're going to lose the restaurant, so it's a
Oh no, I did see that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I've gone beyond.
There's a few other good ones, and there is more of the Jumper X or whatever they call him, and what he's up to. And
I think I've cracked that already.
well, have you though, bro? Have you though?
I
But,
have heard what you said about that episode. I think
but the
What episode?
the basketball episode.
He's not in the basketball episode.
I know, but I think the content of that may relate to another character slightly.
no, it does.
Like,
It does absolutely.
Yeah.
The computer geek.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, forgotten their name. But so without giving anything away,
Sorry,
no.
I haven't seen it. I was guessing.
No, I meant the whole series.
Yeah.
It ends, but it leaves enough open for more to come.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
they've already.
Yeah, there is a
Said
season
season
2.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. There is a
That'd be about 5 years.
culmination. You get
There are some answers.
yeah, very much so in regards to the outside the leap arc and Jumper X or whatever they're calling him, and there is a ending,
Okay.
but it's an open end, should we say?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm going to talk about. That
Fair dues.
finished One Piece.
Proper verdict then, because you had 2 episodes to go last week.
I really liked it. really, really likes it.
Oh.
I don't know why I find that funny. It's the face. You need to be
You
putting
just
that
look
face.
very, really excited.
It's one of those ones, and they don't come up often, but I really look forward to watching an episode because it's just pure escapism, you know. And the little sucker suckered me in. I didn't think I was going to like him, you know, because first of all, I wasn't sure whether he was going to be like an Esteban of Cities of Gold type
that would
character.
be annoying.
But no, liked it. Liked the whole series. Can't wait for the second series. There will be one whenever the gods allow. But no, I highly recommend it as a bit of fun entertainment.
Cool.
Yeah,
it's on my list.
Yeah. So I went back in the water with Jason Statham.
Oh, what? Megan 2.
Meg 2. Not Megan 2, that'd be brilliant.
Megan.
A little robot child haunting the oceans. Doing weird little
Come back
dances.
from Davy Jones's locker.
Yeah, so Meg 2. No. It's a no. It's a no.
I mean, it wasn't going to be War and Peace.
No, I know, but I actually quite enjoyed the first one. In the fact that it's not going to...
You know what you're going to get, and
Yeah.
you can laugh laugh along with it.
But this one's just kind of what? So not only are there Megs, there's also dinosaur type creatures that come onto the shore. That they're just, if it's Meg 2, just bring back bigger Megs and do it all at sea, and bring back
the
Jaws
buzz,
type
is
thing.
that the dog's still there, apparently.
So what?
The buzz is that the little dog's still alive.
What little dog?
The little dog that you think got killed the last one, then comes back at the end, and he's still there.
I don't remember the little dog.
Oh, that's
It's just
what-
heartless.
That's
that's the bit with the kid. Because in the first one, you think he died, and at the end, he
I
comes
remember
covered
it.
in
To be
glass.
fair, I don't remember the dog.
And then he's in the trailer of the new one. That seems to be the. I
Right.
think he's a bit like the squirrel in Ice Age or something. That's the bit that the young uns have cottoned
Okay.
on to, if you know what I mean.
Fair enough.
No, they just try to go off piste with a shark film. They should have just kept it about sharks, not worried.
And you're not going to get more faces of Sharknado. They've done that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, I just think it was a waste. They could have just done it bigger sharks, more sharks, which they did, but they messed it up. Spent a lot of time in an
They jumped the shark.
Yeah, literally, they spent a lot of time in an underwater
I thought it was good.
facility.
I was nodding.
But no, avoid it at all costs.
Well, I wasn't going to go out of my way, to be fair.
What about you, Summers? Anything else?
Yeah, I introduced Year 7. We were doing some story writing skills, and I was like, I need something that's short that they can just watch to inspire them to
The
write a
Flux.
story.
That's
No. Mr. Ben.
Okay.
And we went with episode 1, The Red Knight. Although on BritBox there are some bits where the narration is something about 4 times louder and in a slightly different
Yeah.
key or whatever, then it goes back again. So I'm wondering if things have been covered over
Probably, yeah.
that are maybe inappropriate now, so I need to do some research on that. But I'm just Googling it, I was just seeing what's around. There are a lot of essays and dissertations on Mr. Ben and how each episode represents Mr. Ben being like the authority of society in his suit, and how they dealt with different issues to do with like whatever it links to, like in the Red Knight, he finds a dragon who was friends with the king, but a man turned out who sold matches and told lies about the dragon, so they kicked him out so he could sell matches. And then Mr. Ben goes and tells the truth, and then the man that makes matches gets locked in a dungeon and has to make them for free for everyone now. That was his punishment for the rest of his life. And it was like, is that communism? Is that... I don't know, they started like...
Well, no, because of the
like,
red
Yeah,
dragon.
he's not sure. Yeah. Well, no, he's in a red suit of armour. I know, but there's all sorts of... And suddenly, like, while they were writing their stories, I was just looking at it, just see if there's any like little bits I could...
I thought it was
nick
just
or-
about a man dealing with mental health issues, but
Yeah.
clearly not.
Well, but they liked it. Year 7 liked it. Although
Even
they-
though the dodgy animation was...
Oh, yeah, the legs walking. It's
Well, just
hilarious.
I thought they would even entertain it.
They just love. Although I did hear one of the girls say to the other one, this is really old.
I
So
know,
it's definitely talking about the program, yeah?
Yeah, but
I've been tempted whether I should introduce Emily to the original Paddington or not, because I don't know what she'd make of, you know.
Oh,
that's not Paddington.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I've got your Christmas present sorted out.
Cool, happy days.
Sweet. And the other thing.
I won't obviously
No,
say
that's why
what it
I
is.
just didn't carry on the conversation because
Stay
otherwise
tuned for our Christmas episode to
Yeah.
find out about that one. We like to play the
Long
long-term storytelling. Long-term storytelling.
Yeah, so at Christmas time, you remember back in episode 113? I've only gone and done it. Here it is, Damien. Happy Christmas.
Anyway,
So yeah, Mr. Ben
Oh, sorry,
is
yeah.
relevant again.
No, why
And-
is it though?
well, he's relevant in
Your class.
your classroom, year
Yeah.
7.
Be whoever you want.
You're just getting the kids to watch crap. Are you literally doing it so you can talk about it on the podcast?
No.
Here's
Because then
man,
what
she wrote
they-
kids.
no,
It's to get them to listen to the podcast.
Now,
He's initiating them young. So.
now pay attention to what Jessica Fletcher's saying and how she deviates from what Quincy would do.
We have
Discuss.
Had, to be fair, we have had lessons where we've watched Diagnosis Murder.
I bet you have.
We did, because you had to make a point on who you thought the killer was. You had to come up with the evidence. Then you had to discuss the technique that they used. Then you had to analyse it, and then link it to why, who, how, what they got from it. Because those stages are how you write your paragraph in English.
Yeah.
So it's educating that way in a fun way where we're playing a game. Then they suddenly realised that like they knew how to write an essay.
So,
Like,
damn, we've just learned something.
yeah, well, you learned something. Ah,
Damn you, Mr. Summers.
yeah. And that's basically
The
what
Bart Simpson character in the back of the room.
Yeah.
But like,
Eat my
basically,
shots.
in the story one today, they then had to pick what costume they would choose if they went to a shop. And then
Okay.
write a story out when they went through the door. So they wrote stories. We had one of them became a dog at Crufts and did a big poo. We had princesses.
Can you imagine Mr. Ben doing that?
No,
That'd be
because they
brilliant.
made him run through all the things. He did a poo at the end, and then he dragged a man through the poo. So you know, it's year 7.
I don't know what that
the
is. I don't know.
usual first year at
Middle
school.
secondary.
Secondary,
Senior.
big school,
Ah.
and
Big school.
and then yeah. So you know, it did its point. They all wrote a story.
What
someone
about
wrote
some
it
of the
out.
others? We got the dog.
There was a dog. There was a couple of princesses. There was a
I decided to dress up as my mummy. Did you, Bruce? That's fine.
no.
Nothing wrong
And
with
I
that.
ran a hotel.
Yeah.
Now there's a Jedi.
Cool.
I'm trying to think now. I can't remember.
That's alright, that's fine.
There's only 3 or 4 random out, but that was the main ones. A lot of princesses.
Oh, you didn't put them up on the walls?
No, they just read a couple of them read them
Oh.
out. They might type them up later and do it neat with a picture or something.
Right.
So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. But it's just gauging them because it's the first week, so
So
nothing.
you don't have to
too
sell it
heavy.
to us, it's fine.
I'm just explaining.
And it eases you back into the
Yeah,
teaching malarkey.
Exactly. And we get to watch Mr. Ben. And like, you know,
Everyone's a winner.
A new
Yeah.
generation of enjoying the work of, was it David McKee? I can't remember.
Right, what
Anyway,
else? Last thing.
the big film we watched this week.
The
because
big
obviously-
film.
Because it's been a busy week with tattoos and things and
Getting
all that.
locked in cars.
Getting locked in cars, yeah. It was Things Heard and Seen.
What's this? What's
It's
this?
a
It rings a bell.
2021 American horror film, written and directed by Sherry Springer Berman and Robert Paulsini, based on the novel All Things Cease to Appear by Elizabeth Brundage. And basically, it's Amanda Seyfried, who was
I like that.
in
In
Mean
Time.
Girls and Ted 2
In time.
and
In
Or whatever
time.
it was.
Gollum.
dunno.
I think
No,
she-
what we talked about it last week.
Didn't
Do
she, didn't she
The one
play
with
Gollum?
where we've got the clock thing, bracelet thing, and you can buy time and. If you
Oh,
use-
yeah.
And it's got James
Out
Norton
of
as
time.
well, who took me ages and I realised he was English. I knew him from something.
Oh, is this the one where someone... no, you carry on. I'll see if
And
I think I've
basically,
seen
it starts off, and she's an art restorer, and her husband George and they got a little daughter, and he gets a job teaching and he becomes like a professor at an
Yeah,
art and
yeah.
history college.
Does he show his class episodes of Mr. Ben? Or I know it's
No,
art, so it'd be
he's-
like Bob Ross, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
and she's sort of bulimic and has a few issues, and he's kind of a bit anal, and they move to the house, and the daughter sees a lady in the room, and it's all a bit haunted and stuff. F. Murray Abraham turns up, and it's actually I thought it was a really, really clever film, because a lot of layers on it, but it kind of, I thought it copped out a bit with the ending.
Yeah, it petered out at the end.
Yeah.
Have you seen it as well?
Yeah, it's a couple of years ago. It's, yeah, you say
2021, yeah.
Yeah.
It was on Sky Movies, and it just I thought I hadn't heard of that, so I'm hoping to find that next forgotten classic. But really good to about 95% of the way through, and then kind of, I see what they were trying to do, but it didn't quite do it for me.
No.
But there is a lot of twists and turns, and there's a few bits I thought was going one way and it went somewhere else and that. So I'd say it's worth a watch, but it's just I was a bit unsatisfied with the ending. But yeah, it's worth watching. Amanda Seyfried's pretty good in it. James Norton plays his role well. I liked his parents because they were like rich upstate New York snobs, and then totally unapologetic that he's married this arty daughter and moved out to this sort of backward countryside town and all that. And
does it take herbal baths?
He takes a lot of things, including some of his students. And Karen Allen turns up as the sort of lady that sells on the house.
Yeah.
As well, and there's a few other people you sort of recognise from stuff, but that were the main ones. But yeah, it was okay. As I say, it just sort of just petered out at the end of it for me.
Okay.
Because they put a lot in it, and there's definitely a lot of effort. But I might see if I can get hold of the book just to see. If
I
it's
think it is
actually
one of
worth
those
an ending.
that's better read than watched.
Yeah, but it was good. It was cool.
I don't know. I like Amanda Seyfried. I told you.
So yeah, and that's all I've watched really, I think.
Cool. Okay. Well, we've only spent 37 minutes talking about nothing.
Yeah,
That's just like us.
That's good for us.
Cool. And the nice thing is, we're detached. I was going to say we're all detached from our laptops.
Apart from one person over there.
Okay. Cool. So that was what we've been up to, what we've been watching. Now time to reminisce back on the features. Well, features is probably a bit of an understatement. Yeah, the headlines from
exciting
the
news
NewsBlast earlier this week. So we had the one where ESPN are teaming up with Disney Plus to bring real life avatars to the screen based on an American football game between the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars on October the 1st.
To be fair, I think we spent too long on this on the News Blast. It got painful trying to explain to Brett what the hell was going on.
I knew what was going on.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Is this if it was live?
I'd watch it if it was live. But is no one else interested in this?
No, not really. It's a gimmick.
Would you not be more interested in Formula One, say, if it was like Mario
I've
Kart?
got less interest in Formula One than I have in
I
American
know,
football.
but imagine it was Mario Kart, and when they've got the little speed boost that they give them, they have little special effects. And
Yeah, but Formula One wouldn't have a speed boost.
No, it
So
does.
they'd be there. No, does it?
yeah, they changed it now.
Do they throw bananas at each other as
That's
well?
what I'm
Then?
saying.
Because that's what makes Mario Kart interesting.
It's one more
Oil
step,
slicks
isn't
and
it?
stuff.
Yeah, you get you get some of the drivers like.
I'm still waiting for them to invent real Wipeout. That would be cool.
would
The
be
Cash's
cool.
Castle's back now.
No, not that kind of Wipeout.
No, the game Wipeout.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm still waiting for a Road Rash. Going right back to the main
That's
road.
proper going back. That is.
Motorbike racing with weapons.
You wouldn't watch like Wimbledon if it was Sonic and Tails as opposed to the real.
Not really. No, I don't know. I just it's gimmick, isn't it? It's to show off how far they've come with sort of AI and
Technology.
innovation and all that at the same time. I mean, to be fair, they must be doing it without all that motion capture stuff that actors normally have to wear. So
Yeah.
how they're going to do it is, I guess, intriguing.
Yeah.
There has to be some form of delay. It can't be
Well,
instantaneous.
I will see.
You will see. You
It's
watch
over
it.
the
And you tell
first.
us. You report back.
I think the problem is that this was done donkeys years ago when bed knobs and broomsticks had their football game that was obviously based on some football game going on at the time because everyone was really slow.
I don't think I've ever seen bed knobs and broomsticks. It's the one with the bed on the ceiling or something, isn't it? And Angela Lansbury singing.
Well, it's a bed that can take off, and yes, there is a bit of singing in it, obviously. Yeah.
I was confused by it as a child. 'Cause I watched it for ages and no one died, and I was trying to work out what Angela Lansbury was actually going to do in this program.
Well, it was a nice way that I thought I could bring in bed knobs and broomsticks, Angela Lansbury, and move on to the fact that they're making.
No, I see what you did there.
Murder, She Wrote, you see?
Steering us through.
Yeah. Steering us through the quagmire that is NewsBlast.
I know where you're going. Who's it going to be?
What was it last week? The Swamp of Life or something he said?
Probably.
I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, so we
This
get
just happens, and when it finishes, I have no recollection of what happens. It's just...
So we're getting a reboot of Murder, She Wrote, something like 25 years after the original CBS series ended.
No.
Yeah,
Really?
but that's what my notes say.
No, I suppose that would be the 90s, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late 90s.
Yeah. No, fair. Yeah.
He's Googling. So
Should have made him shut his laptop.
I know. Maybe next time, whoever's hosting, when they come up with a topic,
I need my notes.
The rules are...
No.
You haven't made any notes. You're not doing notes, you're Googling. Give me that nonsense.
when did Murder, She Wrote finish? Dr. Google.
Yeah. That's it. For my spontaneous episode, I've put a rule in place. No laptops.
Yeah, the last TV movie
See?
was 2003.
That was a TV movie, but I said series. So
96.
the question is, obviously, who is going to play the titular character?
Helen Mirren.
Really?
No.
See, I
Well,
was
Betty White's gone, so...
I was thinking it's
What was the one also played McGonagall in Harry Potter? Because she's really old as well, isn't she? Maggie
Smith.
Smith.
She's quite...
Although the thing is, I'm guessing, really, that Jessica Fletcher wasn't that old.
No.
When did it start? 84? To be fair, we're allowed to Google this one.
Off the top of my head, I'd say it was September the 30th, 1984.
I've got the year. I look at that.
cool,
Look at
Damien.
that. Yes.
So I was.
So I mean,
You're first.
she wasn't that. She wasn't that. No, because she. Well, what I'm getting at is when we were young, she looked a lot older. Just don't. Not
No, you're
trigger
right.
and only false
Well, it was the 80s. Everyone
Everyone
we
looked
took
older.
Everyone
Yeah.
looked at Jessica Fletcher.
Norm and Cliff were like
Yummy.
in their early 30s, and we thought they were like really old men.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So
The one that always makes me laugh, I can't remember the actor's name now. The one in Beverly Hills Cop that's not Judge Reinhold, the other one.
yeah,
He was like 25.
Eddie Murphy.
No, not Eddie Murphy. Which one's Eddie Murphy again? I can't remember.
It's the star of Beverly Hills Cop,
Which one's he though?
the one that laughs a lot.
They all laugh. They had a great time. No,
Cool.
the other, the guy with the comb over. I forgot.
Yeah, I know
I
you
can't
mean.
remember.
Yeah.
But he was like 25 or something.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
just ridiculous.
Because people looked
Yeah.
older in those days.
Yeah.
We
we've
talked
done
about
that. The whole you have a look at John Thorne and the Sweeney. He's younger than us now.
Yeah.
But, oh,
Isn't he?
yeah.
Oh man. But yeah,
Right.
so
So I was thinking, okay, so American film, Jessica Fletcher wasn't a action detective. She was.
No, it was all cerebral.
Yeah,
there's also an occasional bit of acting when she pretends to be drunk.
I was trying to get at the
That was
point
scary
as
stuff.
wouldn't be a person that would necessarily need to run. Trying to put it politely. And if it is an American film, I was thinking maybe they would dig out
No.
Melissa McCarthy.
No.
Well, it's not my decision.
No.
I'm just putting my head in the producer's.
She's not old enough.
But that's the
talking
point
about,
we've just
Willis?
made.
Yeah, but she's got to be older than that.
Does
You know,
she though?
Why?
Well, she's the senior, because that's part of the whole thing of it, isn't it? She doesn't run. It's like Harry Brown with Edward Woodward.
Well, Melissa
whole-
McCarthy's
the whole
not
point
known
was
for
the
running.
Yeah, but
Jessica Fletcher, man, she jogged in the opening titles.
And that clip got replayed for 40 years.
I know, but you know, it's,
Well, and if this is the start of a franchise, they're going to want someone that's not going to pop a cogs, aren't they?
No, I'm not. Nah.
Right. Well, the other one I thought, Hollywood.
I thought you were going to say Holly Willoughby then.
No.
I'd watch it, but it'd be rubbish.
Oscar winner. Tick Tick. Great actress, obviously.
Oh, God.
Octavia Spencer.
Who?
Done the space thing.
And was Ma.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Wasn't she was in something with Melissa
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, wasn't she in something with her as well? I think she was.
Could have been.
Yeah, anyway,
Hey,
I know
now-
what you mean.
So I think that would be a nice twist.
Nah.
Sigourney Weaver.
Ooh.
See, I'll go there.
I mean, she's done
You wouldn't
Doc
want
Martin, so...
you wouldn't want her coming after you if you were a baddie, would you?
No,
God.
that's where my money's going.
Summers?
I thought we got back into a coma or something there.
No, I'm thinking deep on it. This is serious shit. You can't just chuck names out.
God.
I'm not. I think they're good
We're
contenders.
going to be here for an hour.
Ooh.
We're already 46 minutes in.
Well, we've only got the drop zone.
I'll tell you who I would go for.
Yeah, you're insisting on 4 drops in the drop zone.
Yeah, but we only watch the films like, yeah.
She's older, but she could probably do a bit of the running.
Running doesn't have to be part of
Oh, it
this.
does. They have to have running in the opening credits.
Yeah, but that's it. You know.
I'm more interested who's going to play the sheriff.
The love interest.
I've got a thing for that. I would go with Penny Johnson-Gerald, who was President Palmer's wife in 24, and she's the doctor in the Orville.
Got ya. Yeah, I
But
know
she's
the
that
doctor
kind
in
of-
Orville.
She's kind of agile enough to do a lot of things, but also old enough to be vulnerable in certain things if there's like a gang that are going to kill her or somebody. Because Jessica's often...
Murder, She Wrote suddenly got really dark.
No, but Jessica often will be face to face with the person and putting herself at risk.
Yeah, but these
And
were...
that's part of it.
In
But
the
we
most
all know-
part, these were upper class
Yeah,
murders.
but normally there's someone behind the door that she knows, but we
5
don't know.
crackheads come out of the alleyway.
No, I think she
Hey,
could
Billy.
do that. You don't want someone that looks like they could just beat the crap out of them all. You need someone that looks like she
What's the
might
power
be
of
there,
acting?
But
I mean,
no, but it's just
Sigourney
like I say,
Weaver didn't look like that when she was in Doc Martin.
Just because she was on holiday and just happened to luck in on it. But like you say, it's the cerebral thing. I think she would look a clever novelist
Okay.
rather than but could still be like, oh, mind my nephews. Because she's got she's got to have a lot of nephews.
She's got to have a lot of family, full stop.
Yeah.
Nephews, nieces, uncles.
You get the picture.
Yeah.
And then
Brothers
Just in
and
case you didn't know what family was. You know.
yeah, Jessica's always nephews. Has anyone ever done? Is there a family tree research on the internet on how many
There could
sisters
be.
or brothers she must have had?
Well, they could have had a lot of kids, let's be honest.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, so the only other thing we really talked about on the NewsBlast was the reboot of The Crow. And
Yeah.
Brett didn't seem to be all up for that.
Well, again, I'll probably watch it, but it needs something to raise it. It's got to be better than the original film.
So it's got Bill Skarsgård as Eric Draven.
Yeah, but he's played everyone weird. No, but that's the thing, isn't it? He's done. No, was he the one that was it as well?
Yeah.
Which Skarsgård
That was him, wasn't it?
Because there's
Yeah.
about 5 Skarsgårds and their dad, isn't there?
yeah.
But you know, you need that sort of. No, I don't know. He could play it well, but it's too
Obvious.
obvious to what's the word I'm looking for?
Cliched. Typecast.
Too cliche.
Too on the nose.
Yeah, you want that sort of person. I can't think of anyone now, but that person
Tom Hardy.
might ring in.
Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Nick Cage is
The
Crow.
vampire that is Nick Cage.
He'd probably bite the crow's head off.
Yeah.
We can't afford Nick Cage now. He wants 100 million.
20 million a
Was
film.
it?
He wants 20 million a film.
That's fair enough. Got a lot of castles and things to pay for.
Kind of scuppers my plan of us coming up with an original script and sending it to him,
Oh yeah, but I think it was a good idea he'd do it.
Yeah.
and just hoping that he'd like had a few bottles of Jack and just go, "Hey, I need to get on a plane."
Yeah.
And like he'd turn up at our door. It's like, "Oh, you just open the door here one day and be on the couch.
He's there.
So,
I'm ready."
Going back to Metro real quick, Sam Elliott would be the sheriff. That's what I was gonna say.
No.
He's got to be old and cool.
No, but he needs to be portly.
It's got to be around the same. Surely he's a lot older than the lady you just
Well, she's
suggested.
60. He's Sam Elliott.
Yeah, but he needs to be portly, and again, like he can't actually hurt anyone. He just happens to save the day.
Yeah, he's
When
got to be
required.
a proper
Who's
town.
Who's the new Tom Bosley?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
And then if it's a network thing, it'll end up being Frasier or somebody.
No, he's
Far too busy doing Frasier.
What about the other one in Cheers? That is
George Wendt.
George
Norm. He's only 21.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to the Crow.
So the Crow.
For the love of God and all that's holy.
So we've got Bill Skarsgård. To be honest, I'm with you there. I just
Yeah,
I'm not excited
there's
about him
no.
doing
It
it.
doesn't. No, it should be the Crow. Sam Elliott. He should play the Crow.
and we've got FKA Triggs. That's going to be his girlfriend.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm not
Then
down
they-
with the kids, so I don't really know
Then
who that is.
they're gonna wonder like why it didn't take off.
Kevin Smith.
What, as the Crow?
No, as Tom Bosley.
That could work, but there'll be a lot of chat. and the deputy sheriff who's saying motherfucking Jessica Fletcher. Bickety boom. Snoochie bitches.
That could take the film in one
Yeah.
hell of a direction.
No wonder she was also laid back and at dinner.
Cool. So we're basically not
I
interested
couldn't give
in
a
the
shit
Crow.
about the Crow, to be honest.
I'm
there's-
interested in seeing a new Crow, but the emphasis on the word new, because they're just going to do. Is it going to be Eric Draven again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a reboot.
yeah, but like Eric Draven was the comic concept was the Crow was the thing that brought revenge. So like Eric Draven was it for a while, then he sold his story arc and moved on.
Yeah.
And then the Crow would resurrect someone else who would sell their story out and move on. But
Well, the thing is, and the producer said this, that whoever's partnering with him on making the film are keen for this to be part of an ongoing legacy, whether those are computer games or a TV series
everyone wants anything to be
or,
an ongoing
or a
legacy
Crow
these
universe.
days.
So there could be almost like a Quantum Leap type thing where it's Bill Skarsgård for this film,
Yeah, and then the next
someone
film.
else, Nick Cage.
No, don't start going
No,
down the
I
route.
honestly can't think of anyone now who would be that kind of. If it's like 15, 20 years ago, I would have said Rory Cochrane, or like an actor like that who, Slater, Days of Confused, Empire Records.
Got you. Yeah, yeah.
No, someone like that who is a bit off the wall but is a good actor but could probably do it. I mean, 25 years ago, probably Heath Ledger, but I don't know now. It's who is there now in that kind of. A lot of Hollywood is a bit too safe now, I think, for that sort of thing.
And again, with the original Crow film, Brandon Lee stole it, and there was all the, and I hate to say it because it was obviously a sad event, but there was always the mystique and
well, that added to that. That's
Yeah.
why everyone went and watched it because they said, "Oh, well, leave that scene in."
yeah.
And all the gory bastards went, "Oh, that's
Well, no, I more meant, and then you had the bits where they had to get the special effects of the time
Yeah,
to
yeah.
pad in the some of the scenes, but almost added to the macabre of the film. And
Yeah, and it had. I think I've forgotten the actor's name now, but he was really underrated as a baddie in it. He was
Yeah,
the
he
guy-
was
he was
star.
the record producer in the
Yeah.
Doors film. He's been loads of. He's got that voice, like a real rocky voice.
wasn't he in Robin Hood or whatever it was as well?
Yeah, he was in that. And it was like, "Hey Jim, do you want to come down and make a record?"
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of those guys who pops up in a film and you
Yeah.
just think, I'm going to watch this now. Yeah, cool. So we're not fussed about The Crow.
I want it to be good, but it's not.
I think he's trying to move on.
I know. I was giving him my final thought.
You want it to be good. I think I want it to be good as well. I'm just not
I
excited.
couldn't give a shit.
Maybe when the trailer comes out and we get a first glimpse of it, we might change our minds.
Maybe.
We shall see.
Well, what do we think of some upcoming trailers of films to come? And will that change our mind about those films?
Trailers?
Trailers, you say?
I do say trailers.
Drop zone. Drop zone.
That's right. It is the Drop Zone, Damien's favourite part of the podcast,
Oh, yeah.
where we look at trailers for upcoming shows or films, give our normally 30-second take on it at the end of it after a bit of spiel and a bit of watching, and basically decide on whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a in between. So first to kick off the Drop Zone this week is Five Nights at Freddy's. So it's an upcoming American supernatural horror film directed by Emma Tammy, based on the video game franchise of the same name. It was everywhere a couple of years ago. There's Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 game. All the kids are watching it on YouTube because everyone talks about it on YouTube, all the YouTubers, or they used to a couple of years ago. Now it's moved on to some Garden of Bam Bam or whatever it is and something else. But it was a big old...
You trying to convince us you're trendy?
Well, no, I only know about it because Connor bloody watches YouTubers.
We just get on
Nothing
with it.
wrong with YouTubers, kids. So Five Nights at Freddy's scheduled to be released simultaneously in theatres and on Peacock in the United States on October the 27th, just in time for Halloween, kids. And coming back to one of the points that I think you actually made off air, it's made by Blumhouse, and yeah, so it's another showing of how they're stepping into big old horror franchises. So let's watch the trailer.
Oh,
kid.
I can press play now, can I?
Press
I
play,
think he
Damien.
stopped.
Hi, this is Mike. I was just calling to see if that job that you offered was still available.
Yes. The security guard.
I will take anything.
This place was huge in the 80s with the kids. They shut it down years ago. The owner's just not ready to let it go yet.
I will work and you will sleep.
I understand.
Give me your hand.
All you have to do is keep your eyes on the monitor.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's, where fantasy and fun come to life.
Okay.
You must be new security guard.
Can I help you, officer?
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Them. In the 80s, kids went missing. The police searched Freddy's top to bottom.
Hello?
They never found them. That's why the place shut down.
There are ghost children possessing giant robots. Thanks for the heads up.
Technically, they're animatronics.
What do they want?
They want to make her like them.
Papi! Tell me how to stop them.
It's too late.
Papi, go!
Where to?
Why do I always get the weirdos?
Yeah, I like the look of it. It reminds me. I would have said it was a rip-off, but I know that this is around longer. But they did that Banana Splits film a couple of years ago where they modernised it, and the Banana Splits went on a killing rampage.
Yeah, well, there's a Nick Cage film from a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, you wrote a review on it. Wonky Land.
Yeah,
Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland. But again, obviously the game has been around a lot longer than that film was. Since before that film release. Yeah, the film that only came out about 2 or 3 years ago. So it just seems like pretty standard fare to me. But I'm not
the
involved.
guy from Hunger Games, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And Future Man.
Oh yeah.
I think it was alright.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna bank cash, isn't it? All the kids at school talked about this. New trailer, thank you for new trailer. And they used to be able to say no, they're not old enough, but they're all year 11 now, so they are. So I put it on if they're all quiet. But I think it's a license to print money, and if they do it right, I'm imagining there'll be a few more nights at Freddy's for us to watch.
What's the equivalent of Peacock over here?
Peacock.
Probably. No, there isn't a Peacock.
There is a Peacock. It's got the Fresh Prince on it, and
yeah, but don't they partner with someone?
Gone.
No, it's still on there. There's not a lot on it, but it's still there.
I thought they partnered with. Yeah.
No, it's still on there. There's still a Peacock app at the moment, anyway.
Okay, I didn't not believe you.
I'm just saying.
So we might get it on a.
No, we won't get it
Paramount
till
Plus or
after.
something.
Whenever they do this, we never get it. It's only in America.
I know, but it's a shame because it's a good
Yeah,
Halloween film. Anyway, another potentially great Halloween film.
So let's do it. Is it a thumbs up or is it a thumbs down?
Oh, sorry.
Let's do that. Let's make that the drop zone thing.
I'm gonna. Yeah, kids, it's a thumbs up from me.
I'll give it a thumbs up because I've seen how excited all the kids are about watching it.
Well, then give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. 'Cause
Damien.
It's a thumbs down.
Yeah,
for me.
who knew that was going to be?
But only because of Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
Willy's
Willy Wonka.
Willy's Wonderland.
Right.
I
didn't think you liked that.
Oh no, I enjoyed that. It wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be.
What was the other one? When Nick came to Frogtown or whatever the one he did.
What?
That was Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper.
No,
that was like
but
1987.
their take on it. You remember he did the other weird one.
Oh yeah, in the desert.
Yeah. That's why I said it. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
Anyway, that was the one that Brett watched.
Yeah, I really did that. It was good.
Okay, another film potentially great for Halloween, Pet Sematary Bloodlines. So the first trailers come out. Bloodlines teases the dark history of the graveyard and brings back an iconic line from the original, apparently. So this one is set to premiere on the 6th of October. So,
I thought you had so much spiel for Willy's for Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, I do, but I didn't want to do the spiel because you didn't seem to like it. So, yeah, so the upcoming horror film is a prequel to the 2019 version.
Oh, God.
And obviously based on Stephen King's novel. Includes talented actors such as Jackson White, Jack Mulhern, who I thought was the guy from the ITV stuff.
In for a penny.
Yeah. I know, but I read that and it just didn't get out of my head. It's like, that would be brilliant. And Pam Grier also is in the film.
Okay, yeah.
David Duchovny. He's famous.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
All right.
Henry Thomas.
Okay, I mentioned some.
You know, but he's got to list the entire cast, otherwise.
Yeah, but he was making out that it was full of no one.
and
no marks.
And Greg Swartz is the key grip. Alright, let's watch the trailer.
Watch the trailer, shall we?
This evil is something different.
Where do you think we should go?
Wherever.
Just enjoy every second of getting the heck out of Ludlow!
hell is that? First place I learned about death was a pet cemetery. A secret place. Generation to generation, dead things buried in that land would come back. There's something else.
Can you hear them? Voices.
I think something's wrong with Timmy.
He needs time to adjust.
The people built the pet cemetery to protect them from evil. That's not Timmy. Something's talking through him.
Hell, what have you done? We have to find Timmy. Now stop this.
I held him the day he came into this world, and I'm gonna hold him the day he goes out.
Believe me when I say sometimes dead is better.
Cool, okay. So streaming October the 6th, Paramount Plus, with a grizzled looking David Duchovny as a star in the film. No one can forget that. What do we think, Brad?
I think Pet Cemetery watched Predator and just stole it and used all the noises and sound effects and put it together on sort of the budget they had, and yeah, I'm getting, is David Duchovny supposed to be Herman Munster when he's old,
No.
the younger or something? Because he lived across the way, didn't he? And then he's the one that says that line originally. That something swings a better stick dead. So is that like the?
Well, it could be
something like that.
Although it says it's a prequel to the remake or whatever.
Maybe it's
so
the character the remake.
Yeah, who knows?
So
I haven't seen the remake.
He's about 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just looks a bit blah to me. The girl's from the Goldbergs, isn't she?
I don't know. For a minute there, I thought it was a dog doing the narration because it cut to the dog walking and then a voice kicks in. It's like
like a weird
dogs go to heaven or
With a
something.
new twist
Yeah,
from the reanimated animal's point of view.
yeah,
the wholesome dog's life,
Yeah.
but with a twist.
exactly.
He's come back and he wants his bone.
I first learned that I was reborn in the pet cemetery.
It's no Prisoners of the Ghostland.
Nice.
But,
See what you did there.
But yeah, it just looks a bit, yeah.
It looks all samey.
Yeah.
To be actually production-wise, look quite good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think as a story, it takes something that's creepy and unnerving and just puts a load of jump scares in, which is the way horror goes at the moment.
With predator noises.
There looked a lot of the old-fashioned. There's a girl running from a terror of some kind, and we have seen that pretty much done to death.
Yeah,
literally. Okay, thumb up, thumb down, Mr. Summers.
It's weird because I'll
What's
end up
poised to go then?
I'll end up watching it, but I'm not excited about it. So I guess it will be a middle thumb.
Middle thumb. How many you got?
To the camera, not to me.
Yes, it'll be in the middle because I'm still will watch it just to moan about how bad it was.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So middle to thumbs down.
Just to give you something to whinge about. Damien.
I too am going a middling
thumb.
Middling to fair. Mainly because, in fact, more because there's no way I could be asked to go to the cinema and watch it.
You don't have to.
I wouldn't pay for it.
You don't have to.
The thingy-majiggy home premiere or whatever, and it's only if I'm between books on audiobooks,
God.
and we're not being forced to watch a film for the spotlight. I might watch it.
Brilliant. Okay. So my thumb gauge is swinging.
It's always swinging.
I too am fair to middling. I'm so desperate for a decent horror film.
Yeah.
And I think that's my problem, because I want it to be good. The production did look good. But we'll see. And we don't have long to wait, scarily enough.
Those winter nights are drawing in.
Cool. Okay, our next movie trailer, well, that's not actually a trailer, it's a series, I think, is The Continental. So, from the world of John Wick, The Continental tells the background story of how Winston Scott, in an alternate history in the 1970s, came to his position as proprietor of the New York branch of the Continental chain of hotels. The safe havens for legal assassins, on the grounds of which no business may ever take place. If it does, hey, you're up for trouble. Explores variations on real-world events, including the Winter of Discontent and the American Mafia's rise to economic power. Ooh, something for everyone. Colin Woodall is playing Winston Scott, who is portrayed by Ian McShane in the John Wick films. And we're getting Mel Gibson as Cormac, who runs the Continental, this one in New York in the 70s. It premieres on September 22nd, not long to go. It's on Peacock if you're in the United States, viewers and listeners. For us in the UK, Prime Video.
Cool.
A suit doesn't make a man. It's what's inside the suit that counts. It's resourcefulness, and perhaps an open heart.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I haven't finished my drink.
This sacred institution wields power beyond your imagination. Winston, your brother stole something from me. What he took is very important to a lot of very dangerous people. Find him, because if you don't, I'll bring the weight of this whole institution down on you both. Sharon, show our guests the door.
We made a big mistake coming here.
You're my brother, Frankie. We have to strike first. And I need all the help I can get.
How are we supposed to believe a guy in an ascot can pull this off?
It's a cravat.
If we're gonna take on the Continental, every freak in that hotel will be after us.
Well, that's lovely.
We need guns. Lots of guns.
This is more than vengeance. This is justice.
Can you dig it?
Let's take this house and everything that comes with it. And away we go.
Okay, so that was the trailer for The Continental, a 3-part special.
Event.
Oh, sorry, event.
I like the soundtrack.
Soundtrack was good.
No, I'm in. I've only seen the first John Wick film, so I've got a bit to do.
I haven't seen any of them.
It's the thing, and I remember when I talked about it, and everyone was shocked that I hadn't seen it yet. But the thing I was impressed with the film was the world building in it, and I remember saying about like the hotel and how like there was a story there and like all the rules and regulations, and I was just really impressed how I thought it was just going to be a kind of Rambo in the modern, revenge, but there's not. There's all sorts of characters and things that pop up and people he knows, and some of the people they got in there, like I forgot the guy's name that runs the hotel in the film. I think he just passed away, didn't he? Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't run the hotel. He works with Ian McShane. Yes.
In as far as I've seen, I don't know if Ian McShane appeared in the first one. I can't remember now, but he was like on the desk anyway, and like and
I think it's like the concierge.
Yeah, and it's like he's only in it for a few minutes, but to get someone for that short amount of time for the scenes he's in, all to get it's obviously there's something important there, and I imagine it will build as it goes on and stuff. And so something like that, I need to see all the other bits to see that now. It's making me now want to watch the other films for that stuff. So,
I mean, it hasn't veered too much away from the DNA of John Wick. It's the same types of fights, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I've seen all the 4 films.
Mm-hmm.
Really like them. I did notice.
But have you been sick on the teacups?
What? Oh no, I haven't. No, I'm not that cool.
Not that hardcore.
There were a couple of lines in there though. A suit doesn't make a man, but John Wick always wears a really clean, crisp black suit and shirt. Not sure whether that was a reference to that. And there was also the line, "I'm going to need guns, lots of guns," which I think Keanu said in one of the Matrix films, didn't he?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
I'm not sure I'm buying whoever it was that's playing the younger Ian McShane, but really,
Mel Gibson.
No, the younger Ian McShane.
Oh no.
The actor just there that we saw that was playing.
Who you explained before we started the trailer.
Yeah.
Is playing the young. Even I got that because I haven't seen the films.
Yeah, because
he's not even listening.
He's
anyway.
not.
I'm not listening.
Maybe he'll listen later when he listens to the
Buy more
podcast
shit
or
for
watches
his
on
cats.
YouTube.
Buy my hotel.
No, but I'll definitely be watching this. Oh, am I giving away the gauge of the thumb?
You may well be.
The thumb gauge.
I think I did.
Right.
Yeah.
So thumb gauge Summers. Is it pointing up? Is it pointing down? Is it in Midland?
I'd like to know what Damien thought.
Oh, sorry, Damien.
No.
I was just so put off by Brett ignoring us on his phone. I ignored you, and I'm sorry
I'm still
about that.
joining in,
right.
and I remembered that he hadn't spoken.
David, what did you think of
I thought it looked quite cool, actually. I mean, I haven't seen the films. I don't necessarily believe that's going to matter, in all honesty.
Oh, you should watch them. You like them.
No, I'm sure I will.
Maybe.
Actually, to be fair, I haven't avoided them. I just haven't watched them. I got a feeling that trailer doesn't do justice to the world that's been built, because that trailer was pretty much just a load of action, really. But I can imagine if it's 3 parts, there's a lot of exposition in there to give you a more backstory for what Brett's just been talking about. So, yeah.
I can't remember what they call the cult or the clan or the family or whatever it is that own all the.
So I don't remember a lot of that in the first one. I think that might come out more.
Right. Okay.
Because it kind of stays in the first one. He stays in the hotel, and then there's another lady who's and she stays around. She breaks the rules.
Yeah, because she attacks him. But there's lots of different. It was released like 15 years ago.
He just said he hasn't seen it.
It's not. It doesn't matter whether he gets attacked in a film that he hasn't watched yet and might not watch for another 6 months, and he might forget about this conversation.
I probably won't now, but I probably would have done.
Okay. But yeah, there's the whole like clans and the body that governs all the.
I got that from the conversation.
So it might delve more into to that and the rise of crime as well. But yeah. Anything else, Damien?
No.
You sure?
Yep, you can move on to the thermometer.
So how's your thermometer, Brett?
Thumbs up.
Okay. Damien?
Thumbs up.
It's a thumbs up for me. Cool. Our first 3 thumbs up. Alright, moving on to the final film tonight that we're going to be looking at the trailer for. This is Spy Kids Armageddon. So, based on, directed by Robert Rodriguez, based on all the other Spy Kids film series that hark back probably 20-something years.
Easily. Probably too scary to have a look.
So Spy Kids Armageddon is going to be released on Netflix September the 22nd. And so when the children of the world's greatest secret agent unwittingly help a powerful game developer unleash a computer virus that gives them control of all technology, they must become spies themselves to save their parents and the world. So very similar to a number of the other Spy Kids films. But let's watch the trailer and make up our own minds. So now, before Spy Kids Armageddon drops, what do we think, Brett?
Oh, I'm a huge Spy Kids fan.
I can tell that by looking at it.
I think it's a great little franchise. It's aimed at kids. Let's not be silly about it and go, although Uncle Machete does turn up sometimes, played by Danny Trejo, and he's the same character in the films.
Yeah.
They put those little things in there. Robert Rodriguez is we talk about world building just now. The whole Spy Kids thing, I imagine there'll be a few nudges and winks of people that will happen along the way. Probably, I think in the last one, the kids from the original one popped up and gave them a hand at the end.
Yeah,
and they're sort of 30s now or whatever. So it all still, I think what the genius of it is, it all still acknowledges all the other films. So I'm really excited. 3D's been my favourite so far. We've got Ricardo Montalban as the granddad and Stallone as the baddie. You know what I mean? So it had everything. But this could be the weakest one so far, but I will give it a watch. Yes.
Okay, Damien, did you get the genius of the film?
No. But then I've not seen any of the others, so...
Yeah, you might not have got the genius, but your kids are going to love it. Yeah, it's from looking at that, the storyline pretty much is the same as the first one.
And the All the Time in the World one.
Yeah. But hey, it's for the kids. Mine still watch. I think they watched some of the other ones 2 years ago or a year ago. They watched Spy Girl and Lava Girl and Shark Boy or something last year. I think if this comes out, Connor might watch it if it was on. They've updated some of the effects, which is nice.
I quite liked it that they didn't on some of the other ones.
As opposed
that
to
was part of the charm.
As opposed to some of the characters and special effects. But wasn't there like some baddies that were just big hands with big thumbs running around? So speaking of which, how's our thermometer gauging, Brett?
Thumbs up.
Damien.
Thumbs down. I've just got no interest in it, so...
I must admit, it's a thumbs down for me. It doesn't mean that I won't have to watch it if Connor really wants to, but yeah, it's passed me by, obviously. I'm not getting any warm, fuzzy feelings from it. So, that's been the Drop Zone.
Ooh.
I think it's time to commence...
I think that's been the podcast.
Shutdown proceedings.
Yeah.
So don't forget to check us out on all of the streaming services. We are everywhere. We are on the YouTube, the TikTok, the Spotify, Instagram, obviously. Who isn't? We're on X,
YouTube.
It used to be Twitter.
Where you can see us uncut and live, recorded live.
We're also on Facebook. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave comments on all of those different channels.
And share us.
Yeah. So like and subscribe if you're watching. Please buy some merch. If you want to contact us in the old-fashioned, almost the electronic snail mail version, you can email us, Damien, on
cultfactionpodcast@mail.com
for all the news, the reviews, the snippets, sometimes competitions, everything that is and has and will become cult faction over the years.
There is a new competition launching this week, actually.
Oh, really, Brett? Do you want to tell us and the listeners and watchers?
You can win the complete Trumptonville box set, all 3 seasons. Trumpton, Cowboy Green, and the other one I've forgotten.
Really?
Yes. Oh.
Well, if we put that up for competition,
you might win, Damien.
I can't enter our own competitions.
Hey, we'll never know. It'll be like one of those Radio 1 competitions.
Back from the 80s. Yeah.
Daniel
a producer
Hawkes
run
from.
Oh man.
PJ Duncan from Newcastle has won.
Anyway, so what is it? What's the prize?
It's the Trumptonville Blu-ray box set, all the series. Yeah, it's Trumpton, Camwick Green, and there was another one I can't remember the name of.
Cool.
But yeah.
Cool.
All from our friends at Fowler's Films.
But where can people find out about that competition and all the other content that Cult Faction has, Brett?
Where they can find out at cultfaction.com.
Okay, so that was a spotlight tonight where it was Buzz, Blood and Armageddon's. Next week we'll be putting our spotlight on Damien. Well, not on
me. I've got 2 spotlights over there, that's enough.
But
our spotlight is on the 1996, I don't have my laptop open, 1996.
Sounds about right.
Classic Grosse Point Blank.
Yes, it is.
Joan Cusack.
Dan Aykroyd.
Alan Arkin.
Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
A host of stars.
The final film in the Say Anything About Grosse Point Blank trilogy.
You can read about
that on cultfaction.com.
Cool, so we got that to look forward to. If you want to play along, well, it's not actually a game, but next week we'll be giving our critique. I have a feeling about how that's going to go for next week. And I don't think this is going to end up on the low half of the leaderboard. But hey, I could be wrong.
Who knows?
I could be wrong. I might watch it now and go,
yeah.
It's been a long time since I watched it, I will say that. Probably since it came out. Maybe.
Fair enough.
Wow.
I'm trying to think.
But you can't say maybe even before.
No, I definitely didn't watch it before it came out. So I have
There's
been...
a few things we've watched before it came out.
I have been your host for this evening, Paul Hawkins, and I've been ably assisted by
Brett Summers
and
Damien Hicks.
So thanks for listening, thanks for watching. It's goodbye. See you next week.
Hello, Wisconsin.
Superman.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, jeez. One is like A-OK, the other time is like, is that on there? We can get covered.
I thought you were going for a piss.
No one listens to me. Go for I said.
I've got my headphones on.
Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is the podcast episode 113.
This is the what?
I wasn't sure. I was freaked out because I wasn't expecting it.
Oh.
What?
I don't know what it was.
No.
It's just one of those ones where we watch the video back. There's going to be like someone stood behind
someone
you.
stood behind
It's a shame
you.
it's not Halloween.
This is brilliant. If you're watching on the exclusive YouTube video, you'll see all the weird stuff. Just now, Damien Basirci got thrown into a wall and pissed himself, and now, as we're starting, something exploded behind him.
If he starts walking on the ceiling, I'm out of there.
That's something fell behind me, but there's fuck all behind me.
Yeah.
Is it a bulb or no?
No.
A bulb?
No. No, that's a fair point. It could have been a ping of a light bulb, but actually no light bulbs in it.
What are they then?
Well, they're not there, but they're not like light bulbs.
And they're not on.
The type with a filament.
Fake light?
Yeah.
It's that fake light. It's not
proper. Should we start that again?
No, let's roll.
YouTube exclusive.